All opinions and views expressed by the speakers are not representative of views and opinions of RBC Dominion Securities, Inc. All information and opinions provided in this video are in good faith, but without legal responsibility.
Hi, my name is Greg Thompson, and I'm a wealth advisor with RBC Dominion Securities here based in Winnipeg. Today I'm joined with Robert Smith, my associate, and financial planning consultant Jeff Schultz, one of the partners we get to call upon to help us with our clients. Now, we do a lot of work with commercial account managers in the business owner planning, and I do a lot of work with business owners separately from that as well. And the biggest question always is time. It's so busy being the president, CEO, and chief bottle washer for all the different businesses, and trying to plan for the future sometimes gets put to the side while you're making sure today is working. Working with Jeff, we're able to do some financial planning for business owners that allows them to look at what are possibilities in the future using a tool called myGPS. Today, I'd like to ask Jeff to explain that tool a little bit more.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks for having me on. The myGPS tool is something we're using to help clients understand their current financial situation. We're taking a look at where they are today, and the clients give us insight as to where they want to be at different stages in their life and their career, and we try to model all that out for them, giving them the kind of feedback and information they would need to make good decisions to steering their business and the outcomes they want to have for their families.
Now, the business owner planning process that the commercial account manager are doing does not take that much work once you start it. Is that correct?
You're absolutely right, Greg. It's not unlike most planning discussions in that with some basic information, we can already start to map things out, and then we can add the layers to it later as things progress, as clients make decisions based on the outcomes that they feel are their priorities.
So as their business changes, they can update it quickly?
Yes, as their business changes, as the timelines on certain outcomes change, whether they're thinking of retiring earlier or working longer, we can adapt to that right away and give them the kind of feedback they need to see how that will affect their long-term wealth.
So what type of output comes from this myGPS, from this business owner planning?
Yeah, that's a good question, Greg. Let me share my screen with you, and I'll show you a sample client that would be a representative of many of the clients that we deal with. The output is very straightforward in that we measure the three main things in planning. We measure clients' net worth, and we show all of the different pieces of their wealth broken up by different color bars and what happens to them over time. We look at outflows, so that would be expenses and taxes, and we can drill down on any one of those line items fairly routinely and discuss that in detail if they wish. And then the last one is what pockets will they reach into to pay their bills when they stop working, when they transition their business or sell their business. And we would be able to illustrate all of that too, so that they could understand what things they can't control and need to control going forward.
Now, I'm looking at this, Jeff, and there's a big spike in yellow in the middle. What would that be?
Yeah, in this scenario, we have a client that is looking or considering selling their home at some point in time and transitioning to a different living arrangement in their early 80s. So this is something we've modeled in this sample client, and we could move that date around, make it earlier or later, just to give the client a feel for what that might look like.
And what about the corporate assets? Can we incorporate corporate assets into here? Because that is one of the best ways that clients of business owners can save.
Absolutely, and we would be able to work very closely with the client's tax advisors and make sure that our modeling is complete and deals with all of the other smaller complexities of a corporate environment. So in this case, here's where their corporate values are today, and we would show where those values are going over time. We're also able to show in the income the kind of dividends potentially that the client would take to fund their lifestyle and retirement.
Interesting. Now, are there any other key aspects as far as estate planning that might come into this?
Absolutely. When you're dealing with transitions of businesses, these all tie in together. We like to look at the ultimate wind up of everything at the end. We trigger that kind of analysis while they're working, maybe while some of their insurance is in full force, while they're retired, maybe if they let some of their term policies expire. What happens with taxation and the ultimate wind up of their estate.
Now, Rob, do you have any questions for Jeff?
Sure. So in looking at the net worth projection graph there that you showed earlier, it seems to me that the same return is used year over year as it gradually increases. Is there any feature or variable that we could change to perhaps simulate a market pullback or correction?
Yeah, good question, Rob. When we're looking at net worth and performance of investment assets, we do, assume that they perform at a reasonable and achievable level year over year, and we show the effect of that over time. But we've also know that even in recent times, markets don't always cooperate in that same sense. So what we're able to do is go into alternate scenarios here and play with those variables. We break them up into things that the client can control and things that are hard to control, like rate of return or market correction, and we can apply different adjusting variables to that and show them the outcome on their net worth if that event was to happen.
Interesting. So, and once in place, easy to change, easy to update as the client's needs change?
Absolutely. It's as simple as just going in and changing some of the input. So instead of the client selling their house in 2050, we can sell it in 2040 by just changing a number and then going back to our illustration and showing the effect of that.
So business owners then have an opportunity to update this as their situation changes and can use this as a planning tool. With some of my business owner clients, they've also really appreciated the fact that all their assets are listed. So if something does happen to them, then whoever is taking care of the estate or needs to take a look at what they have can find it all in one place.
Absolutely.
Well, Jeff, this does look like a pretty powerful tool, and I know that the commercial account managers are working hard to add value and lead the way for their clients. So what would be the next step for the business owner to take advantage of this?
It would be as simple as them calling their commercial account manager and initiating the process.
Well, that sounds great. Well, Jeff, thank you very much. I think this is a wonderful tool, and I think it's one that will only continue to get better as we go forward. And if they have any questions, please call your RBC commercial account manager. They're more than happy to help you. Take care.
Thanks, Greg.